Good evening. My name is Len Foy, and I am a real estate attorney in Nashua, New Hampshire. Most of you who have been kind enough to have followed my videos on YouTube know that I have put together a series of video presentations on the fundamentals of buying and selling real estate, certainly in the Northeast, where I'm a practicing attorney. I'm admitted as an attorney in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine. I'm also admitted as an attorney in California. My status is inactive in that particular state. And I am a real estate attorney, and my office is located in Nashua, New Hampshire. And again, over the course of the last several months, we have put together a number of videos to inform people about, again, the fundamental aspects of real estate, do's and don'ts, tips for people that are buying and selling. It's certainly everything that I have to offer from a legal perspective. So I'm not a real estate agent. I'm not a home inspector. I don't do appraisals. There are many people who are a part of the real estate process, whether buying or selling or refinancing. But what I do is limited to the legal aspects of it, which are well established and which we have discussed at length throughout many of the videos that we've done. Tonight, I intend to honor a promise to keep this video as brief as possible, and I would like to focus my energy this evening. First of all, I feel compelled to explain my attire, although I received a number of compliments on this shirt today. I don't normally dress like this at work, but we are going through a winter for the ages. We've, I think, broken all of the records in terms of the amount of snowfall. And it's snowing now, and we've got more snow in the forecast. So when it's all said and done, I don't know how much snow we're going to have here, but it's really made it impractical for me to come to work in a suit and tie, only to have all of my clothes just completely messed up. I've got a dry cleaning bill at this point that could choke a horse, so I'm really just trying to watch it. And so I've been dressing somewhat casually. Certainly when I don't have closings, if I have a real estate closing, I'm still wearing a suit and tie. I'm just wearing winter boots, and I'm tucking my pants in so that they don't get all messed up. But anyways, fashion tips is not what I have to offer. I just always want to explain my attire because people might look at me and think, well, I don't really expect an attorney to be dressed that way. And that's not typically the way I dress. Again, we're just going through kind of an incredible winter here, and I'm just trying to save my wardrobe from it, really. But tonight I wanted to focus briefly on a very specific type of transaction which I encounter frequently in my practice and which might be of interest to people watching this video, because a lot of people that buy and sell real estate use real estate agents, perhaps real estate attorneys, and those professionals guide them through the process, make referrals along the way, alert them to various responsibilities. Okay, we have to do an appraisal, we have to do a home inspection, we have to get ready for closing. But it's frequently the case that real estate transactions are born of family agreements. So parents will agree to sell a property to a child, is probably the most frequent case. But really, that's just a part of a very vast universe of transactions. We could have aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews. We could have grandparents. We could have friends. We could have people who are perhaps in a relationship who are parting ways. So there are many instances where people may be transferring, buying or selling real estate between and among each other without using realtors, without real estate attorneys. And so there may be some initial confusion as to, okay, where do we start? Where do we go from here? How do we do this? And frequently I am asked to participate and advise the parties in those types of transactions. And I think it's a real strong suit because it's something that I've been doing for years, number one. And people who are in this situation do need guidance. They can't run to the internet every time they have a question about what to do. So we'll try to simplify it as best we can, and I'll try to offer a few tips to people. So first and foremost, if I am approached by family members who are, and I say family members, but certainly this would not be limited to that, but let's just say for the sake of this discussion, for our discussion, that we're talking about family members who wish to transfer a property between each other. The first order of business will be to prepare a purchase and sales agreement. not only is a purchase and sales agreement required for the transfer of real estate, just to make it official and to make sure that it meets all of the legal requirements, it will also likely, well, definitely be required by the bank or financial institution that's making the loan. So with a cash transaction, we do it because it's something that's been done for hundreds of years and it's legally required. We cannot have an agreement to sell real estate that is verbal or not in writing. So if it's a cash transaction and somebody's going to write somebody a check, then we still need to do it, because if we don't, then we don't really have a valid transaction, at least up until the time that we have the deed, and we can talk about that later. If there's a bank involved, the bank will mandate that there be a purchase and sales agreement. The purchase and sales agreement, we've discussed that in other videos. It's a fairly straightforward document, or it can be. It involves a buyer, a seller, a description of the property being conveyed, any contingencies or conditions that have to be satisfied for the parties to be obligated to go forward. The document needs to be signed. Usually we'll deal with appliances. The washer is included. I'm taking the refrigerator, that sort of thing. And then there's a part of the purchase and sales agreement which allows for what we call additional provisions. So with that, what I would say is we have to do a purchase and sales agreement. My office will typically prepare that document. And so that is something that I can handle right off the bat. The next thing is that sometimes, not all the time, there will be a desire for the party purchasing the property to give an earnest money deposit or a security deposit. It's called 100 different things, but a deposit of money to be held by the seller or by an attorney, and that's where I could potentially come in, as security for the transaction. Now, deposits are far more common on transactions where parties that don't know each other, strangers essentially, are buying and selling property to each other. And there's a million reasons for deposits, and we get into how big should the deposit be, how small should the deposit be, who should hold the deposit, how do we determine when the seller gets to keep the deposit or when the buyer gets their deposit back. And again, we can do a video series on that, and we probably have, and if we haven't, we will. But suffice it to say, in a family transaction, it's less common because we don't have a dynamic necessarily where a seller is looking to pocket the deposit from a buyer who doesn't perform the contract, because frequently they're members of the same family and there just isn't any interest in doing that. But if for whatever reason the buyers wanted to give even a token deposit to the seller could either hold on to it themselves or they could entrust it to my office to hold in our trust account. We do it frequently, so that's something that we could do. Because I'm a real estate attorney, and because I've been doing this for many years, and because our office is equipped to handle this kind of work, we can guide the parties through the transaction so that we can alert them along the way to the various things that need to be done, whether they're paying cash or whether they're going through a bank. And of course, because we're handling the closing, we're able to do everything associated with that process, whether it's preparing the deed or preparing a settlement statement, or obtaining mortgage payoffs for any mortgages that there may be on the property, or for just organizing the transaction generally, dealing with the possibility that various parties are out of state. Maybe we need to mail the documents to them beforehand. Maybe they're going to be represented by a power of attorney. The variations and wrinkles are limitless, but all of them are familiar to me and to the people working in this office. We see it all the time. We deal with these issues frequently. So we're built to deal with these problems as they may arise. And of course, we provide great customer service. We're very friendly, knowledgeable, and helpful to the people that we work with. So I think if we had a transaction in front of us where there was uncertainty on the part of people as to what to do, or what do we do now, or how do we do a purchase and sales agreement, or what if I want to, well, the bank is telling me that I need to put down a deposit, but I don't know who to give the money to, and how much should I give? We can answer all these questions and more. So it occurred to me to do this video today because I've been recently receiving some phone calls from people in this very situation, this wonderful situation, where family members, rather than putting the property on the market and selling it in an arm's length setting, are in fact selling the property to perhaps a son or a daughter at a discount so that the son or daughter is receiving some built-in equity, And yet the parents have the comfort and and the peace of mind of knowing that they're selling the property and they're going to receive some money for it, so there is something in it for them, but they're also conveying some value and some benefit to their children, which is the most fundamental urge of all parents everywhere. And I know, because I have 4 kids of my own, so I know a little bit about being a parent. And so, these sometimes are the most beautiful of all transactions, because there are no negative forces. It's all positive. But anyways, regardless of what your transaction looks like, whether it involves members of a family or another group of people that look to convey a property between and among each other, that is exactly the kind of transaction that we do. We can help you do it, and I have 20 years of experience to draw from in doing that. Again, for the purposes of anybody who is trying to contact me, and hopefully you found this video to be informative, and again, I'm making a conscious effort to try to make the video somewhat streamlined and not too lengthy. My name is Len Foy, and I am a real estate attorney in Nashua, New Hampshire. I've been practicing law for just about 20 years. I think I've got an anniversary coming up this month. It may have come and gone already, a 20-year anniversary. In all that time, I've been handling real estate matters. We have a wonderful staff. We've got a wonderful team. We have paralegals in this office. I've got an associate attorney. He's outstanding. We've got a great office manager. We've got a cast of thousands. I mean, we really have a wonderful office, well-equipped, well-staffed. We know what we're doing. We love to provide good customer service. We love working with people. We love working through difficult transactions. We embrace all that stuff. We embrace even the most difficult aspects of this industry, and we do so with a smile. So I hope that you'll call me if you need anything in connection with your real estate transaction. My name is Len Foy. I can be reached at area code 603-598-4030. Please look me up on the World Wide Web. You'll find my web address is www.foylawoffice.com. My email address is lfoy@foylawoffice.com. I hope to hear from you. I wish you the best of luck and the greatest success with your real estate transaction. I only hope that perhaps I can be a part of it. Have a great night, and thank you very much for watching this video. God bless.